So I was just thinking about doing something different in the Clark book today, and I decided to take 98 and transpose it up a half step. Um, I like to make things hard on myself sometimes, so. If you know 98, this is in study 5. 98 is the last one, um, like that pattern. And I do it all in one breath, which doesn't allow you to stop, start, and reset the curl in and the roll in. That number one makes it already hard enough. So if you do this all and don't take a breath, you're going to really find out if you actually can roll in and roll out in real time. And more of a classical thing, not just a brute force type of exercise or technique like maybe I've demonstrated before in the past. So the other thing is, this is for the classical guys. You jazz guys, a lot of times you don't really transpose that much. I mean, you get in a jazz jam, and what do you got to do? You got to transpose usually up a whole step because the rhythm section is going to do a blues in D, right? What that means for us trumpet players, that's holy crap, E. Or what if they do something in E, which is very easy for your rhythm section because one of the strings on the guitar and bass is E. So that means F sharp for us, F sharp blues. So for 98, to make things a little bit more difficult, and to maybe lure in some of the classical guys that are used to transposition. And by the way, here's just a quick tip. I went through and mastered the entire Caffarelli book years ago when I was undergrad. And anybody that knows anything about the Caffarelli book, it will turn you into a pretty decent player that can transpose in all different kinds of keys. Anybody that can go through and master the Caffarelli book with about a 95% accuracy would get a two thumbs up and two toes up for me because that's kind of a bitchin' book. I mean, it really makes you think to transpose like that. So anyway, back to the study in the Herbert L. Clark fifth study. And anyway, 98. I was just fooling around with it. Now I could do 98 upside down blindfolded. It has one flat in the key. And I thought, let's make it harder. How much harder would it be just to simply single tongue it at not too fast of a clip? Just even single tongue, just like a robot. I'm not even paying attention to the dynamics really so much. And I found it very difficult for me to be very accurate tonguing plus transposing up into trumpet F sharp major and using the real time roll in, roll out all in one breath. The final take you're going to hear me do came after a good 3 or 4 attempts, and it still isn't perfect. Now contrast that, I end this particular tutorial still transposing up a half step into trumpet F sharp major, but I slur everything. I did only one take. The take that you're going to hear is my one and only take I did slurred. You have to agree, it sounds so much smoother, so much easier. And the reason is that I've been able to figure out is that the tongue disallows a 100% constant compressed stream of air. Every time you tongue, your tongue arch drops to some degree. And so even if you maintain a tongue arch when you go higher, it still drops to some degree. But when you have this type of study where you're going low and high and low and high, you're constantly going back and forth from an uncompressed position to a compressed position with your tongue arch, making this study to be very, very difficult. Then transpose it up into 6 sharps. And so what you're actually looking at when you play, you're not even looking at the real notes that are coming out the horn. The notes coming out the horn are coming out a half step higher. All this requires a supreme amount of intelligence, talent, and practice under your belt. It's not magic, but you have to have all those qualities. I mean, you're doing a tremendous amount of thinking, and it'd be kind of cool if someone else would do this. Oh, the other thing is, classical guys, did you notice? By the way, yeah, can you see me? Yeah, it's me, Kurt Thompson here. The light's kind of doing a little this and that. Oh, I did all that on my big B flat. So you classical guys, you know, you can't get out your B flat A pick. You can't get out your E flat small horn, as I call it. No. In fact, I don't even want you to do it on the C horn, which is smaller than the B flat. I want you to, yeah, that doesn't count if you do it on the C horn. I want you to get out the big horn. Yeah. I want you to get out your big B flat, and you do everything like I just did on the big B flat. The piccolos and E flat trumpet, no. C trumpet, not really. I mean, you're still cheating a little bit on this one. Get out the big B flat. Don't be scared of it. And you're going to find out real quickly what you're made of, and you're going to find out real quickly how accurate you are in the upper register. You're going to find out very, very quickly that that PhD and DMA you have after your name that you worked so hard to get doesn't mean too much right now. You know, putting your feet to the fire. This is a test. So if you just got your DMA and you're thinking that you're hot shit and you're looking around for that professorship somewhere, you need to make sure you can play your horn, because most can't. Why don't you set the tone for a guy that has all that academic suffixes after your name and be able to play your freaking horn and not regurgitate the same bullshit that you learned when you got your DMA. Can't see my face, but you can hear my mouth run, and that's the most important thing. So that's 98 transposed up a half step, easy for me to say. In the 5th study of the Clark, set your metronome so you don't speed up and slow down. It doesn't have to be fast, it just needs to be even, like you heard me do it. And work the tonguing first, and then notice how much easier it is when you go to slurring. It just, wow, it's just like a cakewalk. After you do the tonguing, like I said, I did this for 3, 4, 5 times, and I finally took the best take. This was live, and then I went to the tonguing, and that take you hear on the tonguing is my first. I'm sorry, the slurring, and the slurred one is the first and only take. Came out like smooth butter, just dripping on a hot ear of corn. So this is a very important one. I don't want to just say I just stumbled on it, but I just got a wild hair up my left toe. You know what I mean? And I thought, what the hell? Let's transpose this baby up a half step. We're going to make it hard, and we're going to tongue it. And of course, if you haven't figured out, I end up hitting, that's the double F sharp, folks, that I hit at the end of this. The double F sharp. Double F sharp. Double high F sharp. That's the note that I hit at the end of this one. Try it yourself, and if you can actually do this, I would love to promote you on my channel as a guy or a gal that took the initiative, went and tried to do this, and actually made a video of yourself, put yourself out there. I promise you, if you did if you clam bake this thing all over the place, I'm not going to put it up on my channel and embarrass you. But if you make the effort to make a video of yourself doing this, and you got to have yourself in the camera. I don't want any black screens, because then we don't know if you went over to, Maurice Andre's grave and he played it for you. You got to have yourself in the picture so we know who it is, and you got to use your real name. You want to get a little fame, and you want an instant 5,000 people to be able to watch your stuff, then go ahead and go for it. Make the effort. This needs to be transposed into F sharp major. You need to tongue it and slur it. If you got the you know what to do it, record it, send it to me, and I'll make sure a ton of brass players watch you play it. Over and out.